Imagine a life where your worth isn't dictated by your job title, your social status, or even your curated online persona. How would that look for you? We live in a culture obsessed with categorizing everything and everyone, often at the expense of our true self. So I want to ask you, what does it truly mean to be authentically you when the world constantly demands you to fit into a mold? We love a label. They are comforting, efficient. You say, I'm a Capricorn, and boom, half the room nods in recognition of horror. You say, I'm the reliable one, and suddenly you are everyone's emotional first responder. But labels are supposed to help us express who we are, not replace it. The problem starts when we begin performing the label instead of living our truth. Sorry for the Capricorn slander, by the way. When we identify too tightly with any role or identity, we risk cutting off the parts of ourselves that don't fit neatly. We stop exploring. We over-identify with our past selves or worse with how others perceive us. And somewhere along the way, we forgot that identity isn't supposed to be a cage. It's supposed to be a compass. You're not a static concept. You are not a brand. You are not a Hogwarts house, J.K. Rowling, by the way, or a personality quiz result. You are work in progress, and that's not a flaw, that's the point. The most magnetic people I know are the ones who evolve and evolve loudly. The ones who give themselves permission to outgrow old bios, change their minds, update their boundaries. Fluid identity isn't confusion, it's clarity in motion. It takes guts to be seen in process. And yet, the world often rewards certainty. We're told to know who we are as early as possible, as if the end goal of life is to land on a single word we can slap in a bio. But what if the real self-awareness doesn't come from narrowing down, but from widening our lens? And if you're in this kind of conversation, please go ahead and subscribe. I share videos like this to help you untangle, unmask, and come home to yourself. But back to the question, how do we cultivate that kind of authentic compass? First, we have to develop awareness outside of validation. It's tempting to wait for permission, a like, a nod, but the truth is no one sees the full you except you. People see versions, fragments, glimpses you offered in specific contexts. The you from work, the you from high school, and sometimes they want those fragments to stay familiar. They get attached to that version because it's comfortable, predictable, easy to digest. That is often the issue we have with our parents. They keep seeing older versions of us, but that doesn't mean it's your job to stay the version for them. You are allowed to outgrow the version they liked best. You are allowed to change. That means listening more deeply to your own reactions. Noticing what energizes you and what drains you. Getting curious when you find yourself saying, but I've always been this way. Who said that you have to keep being? And we don't talk enough about how hard it is to let go of an identity that once served us. Even the ones that felt empowering in the past can become suffocating over time. Maybe you were the strong one in your family or the productive one at work. And walking away from those roles, that isn't failure, that's growth. It also means setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. protecting the parts of you that are still growing, not rushing to define every shift. It's okay to say, I'm exploring. It's okay to say, I don't know yet. That's not weakness, that's integrity. And if you ever felt like too much or too scattered, maybe you are just multidimensional. Maybe your bigness doesn't need fixing. Maybe it just needs space. You are allowed to exist outside the algorithm, outside the stereotype, because real authenticity isn't a role you play, it's something you build through curiosity, through asking over and over again what feels true right now. You are not a category. You are not your job. You are not your trauma response, your content niche, your aesthetic. You are a whole evolving being. You get to change. You get to contradict yourself. You get to surprise people, and you don't owe anyone an explanation. So what if the question isn't who are you? What if it is, what are you learning about yourself right now? And if this resonated with you, I would love to know, is there a label you're done performing or one that you are reclaiming? Please drop it in the comments, and wherever you are in your journey, I hope you keep choosing what's true for you, even if it doesn't come with a neat little label. Until next time, take care of your whole self, the loud parts, the soft ones, and the parts still figuring out. How would they...